Alright, quick update on Theta. So if we zoom in, look at this in the short term to start with, this definitely does look like a bottoming region to me. Now, number one, we had nice volume coming in to confirm that this was a bottom, in my opinion. We also, if we flatten the data a bit and look at this macro fib, if I move this down to the candle body close, making sure I get the right candle right there. So moving the macro fib down to the candle body closed, you can see our 786 Fibonacci retracement is around about the 13 cent region, and we basically perfectly backtested that. I mean, no, we literally did perfectly backtest that. We had a wick fall through the 786, but we had all of our daily candles above and around the 786. So perfect backtest of the macro structure for TFUEL. I'm just going to call it TFUEL because I don't know if I'm pronouncing Theta right, so I'm just going to call it TFUEL. Like I said, very, very nice volume coming in to confirm this bottom, and recently we've started to head up, drawing a micro fib. It looks like we either backtested the 786, yeah, we came right back down to the 786 twice and bounced up. So macro term, confirm the 786, micro term for the uptrend, confirm the 786, and we are starting to head up now. I do see a nice trade coming in for TFUEL, and this is purely, it's basically purely based on whether we're able to get above the 200-day moving average. So I've explained to you the Fibonacci's. Let me remove these because to start with, I want to clean up the chart, and I want to explain to you, if I can get back the RSI. I don't know how this always happens. Here we go. So if I remove all the drawings and I just want to go through why I think getting above this 200-day moving average is the number one key thing that we need to do, at least for me, to see Theta or TFUEL to have a massive rally. Now, if we go back to basically the inception of the 200-day moving average on TFUEL, or at least this is basically on the Binance TFUEL chart, we can look at this 200-day moving average and we can see this was perfect resistance here, perfect resistance here. We flipped it as support, had a massive rally, came back down, back tested it, had a slight dead cat bounce or so, but then we came back down, back tested the 200-day moving average perfectly. Like, we literally perfectly back tested it. This is what I mean. You can see whenever we get above it, we have massive rallies, we come back down, we back test the 200-day support, and we continue with another massive rally. I mean, I measured this was about a 6,000% return. Am I saying that if we backtest the 200-day and start to move up, we're going to have another 6,000% return? Absolutely not. There's obviously going to be diminished returns because, you know, if we measure this 6,000% pump, if we measure this, you know, 370% pump, if I was just to kind of extrapolate this, I would imagine maybe a 2x rally or something of the sort coming in for TFUEL. So nonetheless, jumping back into the 200-day, you can see we had this massive rally purely based on backtesting the 200-day. We came back down, back tested it again, and proceeded to put in a new all-time high. So we can basically see TFUEL very, very well respects the 200-day. The second we lost it, this is where it gets interesting. So we lose the 200-day moving average. We confirm it as support, have a slight dead cat bounce, break below it. So we've lost the 200-day. We then proceed to put in a dead cat bounce, and then we lose it again. We proceed to put in another dead cat bounce, which was lower than this previous dead cat bounce, and then once again, we lose the 200-day, we start falling off the table from the breakdown. We fell approximately about 68, 67%. Now, this is why I think trading TFUEL purely based on the 200-day moving average is a very, very nice way to trade, because like I said, every time we've broken above the 200-day, came back down, back tested it as support, we have these absolutely crazy rallies. And like I said, I don't think we would have a rally anything like we saw before. Obviously, we're not going to have a 6,000% rally when the market cap of this is 1 billion. So it's just not going to happen, in my opinion. But once again, if we draw the Fibonacci's, put them back on the chart, I will be showing you where I think we would have a nice trade coming in for TFUEL that I would definitely be tempted to take for this. So personally, I have read the white paper of this, and I do think this is overvalued for what it is, but nonetheless, cryptos can be overvalued for what they are, and you can still remain bullish on them. For example, XRP is a shitcoin that doesn't deserve the market cap it's got. Shiba doesn't deserve the market cap it's got. Dogecoin doesn't deserve the market cap they've got. It is all just kind of jokes with crypto. I mean, a lot of cryptos, in fact, I'd probably argue 90 to 95% of cryptos are overvalued, and they will continue to rise until they are extremely overvalued. you can read the white paper for Theta if you want. I don't want to go into every use case for Theta. If you want to read the white paper, I think the easiest way to do it is go on CoinMarketCap, type in TFUEL, and then you can find the white paper for this. But in my opinion, I would not be holding this for a long-term trade because I already do believe that 1 billion is way over the intrinsic value of TFUEL. So just a little bit of a tangent there on the fundamentals for this, but obviously my channel is mainly about technicals, so I will be talking about this potential trade that I do see coming in for TFUEL. So I would personally actually be taking this trade because this is approximately a 45% rally. Now, like I said, I've highlighted the importance of the 200-day. Every time we break above it, come back down, back test it. We have previously seen a 6,000% rally and almost a 400% rally. So once again, I'm not saying that we're going to do anything like that. The market cap is 1 billion, so I don't even think that we're going to do a 3x like we did here. But I do think a 2x, or this 50% trade that we're talking about, could definitely be something that happens very, very fast. I mean, you can see previously when we backtest the 200-day support, this time we just went up in like 2 weeks. This time we backtested it, and we took our time, but it was slow growth, which is probably the most healthy for this anyway. So once again, looking at this in the short term, we've got very, very nice volume coming in. So once again, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this from a fundamental perspective. From a purely short-term trading perspective, this looks like a great trade that I definitely will be taking if it does happen. So once again, I would be looking for this, a break above the 200-day moving average, a back test, which is around the 24-cent region. If we break above 24-cent, come back down, back test it, we'd be back testing the 200-day moving average, something like this. And then I believe we would have a very, very nice trade of a 45% increase all the way up to the 0.5 Fibonacci. I don't think the 618 Fibonacci is going to be much of a resistance, mainly because obviously if I move up this rectangle box, you can see this would be the real big area of resistance before we do kind of start having a hard pump. This is still a 30% trade, but like I said, I would mainly be ignoring the 618 in this instance, even though I normally trade the 618 as the #1 Fibonacci, but I just think the 618 and the 200-day are so close to each other, and it is very, very evident with what I've highlighted that as soon as TFUEL seems to get above the 200-day moving average, it just seems to go on an absolutely crazy rally. So I would keep my eye on this 200-day rather than focusing too much emphasis on the 618 Fibonacci. If you did want to be conservative and wait till above the 618 Fibonacci, it is round about the 26.5-cent region. So let's just call it 26 cent. Nonetheless, that is not the target that I'm going to be focusing on. I would be looking to get in this trade. Like I said, if we hop above 24 cent, come back down, back test the 200-day moving average, which if we take a couple of days to do this, we could see this being anywhere between 23 and 24 cent, perhaps the lower bound of the 23 cent. Nonetheless, I will update you if this video is well received when we do break out of the 200-day moving average. So that is basically all I see for Theta. Once again, the bottom pretty much is confirmed down here because we have crazy volume that has been unrivaled since we backtested the 200-day moving average all the way back here and had a 400% rally. This is crazy volume that we're seeing coming in. The volume is slowly increasing. We're seeing more green volume than red volume. On the daily, RSI and MFI is slightly overextended, so it could take a couple of days to get above this 200-day moving average. I am happy to sit on the sidelines and miss out on the first 14-15% of the pump and wait until we do get above this 200-day, because you can see, like I said, the 200-day is very well respected. We pumped up to this yesterday. It was very strong support and we got rejected from it, so I would just be sitting on the sidelines. I would be waiting. Once again, if you want my opinion on the fundamentals of this, I do think this is overvalued. So personally, this is not a long-term trade for me. This is a short-term trade, but nonetheless, focusing on just the technicals. Like if I move out the fact that I've talked about the white paper, if I forget the fact that I've talked about the fundamentals and how I believe it is overvalued, which by the way, just because I think it's overvalued, I still think this is going to pump. Like, the chart is very nice. We've backtested the 786, drawing this to the candle body close. And yeah, all in all, I think this is going to pump. So just because I say that the chart is overvalued, in my opinion, does not mean that it's not going to pump. There are tons of cryptos that I believe are overvalued, and I still think they're going to keep on pumping. So, is what it is. For me personally, this is a short-term trade. I do have my bags filled with altcoins already. In fact, I am looking to offload some of them once I do make some profits into Bitcoin. So that's just my personal trading plan. Obviously not financial advice. Keep an eye on whether we're able to flip this 24 cent as support. Once we do flip that, we'll be above the 200-day moving average. We can back test it, and we can basically obviously nothing's guaranteed in crypto, but I would say that we would be heading up for this 45% trade very, very quickly. So that's just my analysis on TFUEL. Chart looks very, very amazing from a purely technical perspective. Looks like the bottom's in. We're having nice volume to confirm this breakout, and I would be expecting a breakout above the 200-day moving average in the next couple of days, because I mean, you can draw a line of best fit. You can see I really don't like drawing trend lines too much, but you can see that we have a very nice uptrend. I don't think this is very valid at all, but you know what I mean. I think we're going to head above this 200-day very soon. So all in all, chart looks good. I'm waiting to make this trade. Once we break 200-day, I will be entering a trade, and I will update you. So best of luck if you are holding TFUEL. Once again, none of this is financial advice. It's just my own opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.